What seeds of hope have you seen the past year? Every Tuesday of Holy Week, the clergy in the Diocese of Toronto gather at St. James Cathedral to participate in a service where oils are blessed and the clergy renew their ordination vows. This year, once again, we were not able to meet at St. James Cathedral, so instead, a service was held online. A new addition this year was a Zoom quiet time for clergy before the service. Approximately 100 clergy gathered on Zoom for a time of prayer and heard Bishop Andrew's reflections in the midst of Holy Week. Questions were then posed to the clergy, who were invited to reflect on them and discuss them in small groups. One of the questions is what you see today as the Midweek Musing. What seeds of hope have you seen the past year? It seems timely, as we just celebrated Easter Sunday and as we continue in this Easter season, that hope should be at the forefront of our minds. It is certainly not an easy time in the world for us to be hopeful or to maintain a sense of hopefulness. But in this season of church life, we are particularly immersed in our story of hope that has strengthened and upheld Christians around the world for generations. Even when we struggle to see hope and love in our midst, as people of faith, we are called to lean on one another and trust in God and the example of hope and love we find particularly on Easter Sunday. In the past year, one of the seeds of hope I have seen is the compassion and love you have all shown to me and to one another. This compassion has been expressed in formal ways that are new, such as the care packages that our parish distributes during Advent and Holy Week, and in ways that have been part of the tradition of Trinity-St. Paul for a long time, such as supporting the Compass, Faith Works, and Cans for Kids. It is a blessing to witness the compassion you as a community show for each other and the neighbors that you don't know. I have also witnessed this compassion in ways that you care for each other subtly. I will often get a call or email asking me to check in on someone else. You don't need to tell them I was asking about them. I just want to make sure they are okay. Is there anything that we can do for this family? I think they really need to know we are thinking of them and praying for them. Reverend Roshni, could you talk to this person? They always make me smile, and I'm sure they would like a phone call. I hear these phrases or something similar multiple times a week from people who reach out to me, not just for themselves, but for the love of their neighbors. I appreciate these notes because it helps me to get to know people in our community more deeply, but also because it helps me witness the strong and loving relationships that already exist here. And that brings me hope. As we are in the midst of our third wave and another lockdown, it continues to be hard to predict how long the world will continue in this state. It is also hard to predict what the world and the church will look like when we are able to return to some sort of normalcy. We don't know what we will look like, but the compassion I continue to witness in this community gives me hope. The phrase seeds of hope is very important to this question because for me, it paints the picture of a hopeful moment now one day blossoming into something more. It is not a moment of hope that comes to an end, but rather it continues taking on a life of its own, existing as something that grows and lives, affecting the world around it. The love I see in this community and the love I have witnessed in other parts of the world this past year are not static. They continue to grow into something that I think we have yet to see unfold. This is a seed of hope that has strengthened me at the beginning of this Easter season. I thank God and I thank you for that gift. What seeds of hope have you seen the past year? How have they affected you and your faith? It is an honor to grow in faith together, even while apart.